in the last class, we started with, last class only we started with the sequences and series. And then we have learned about Cauchy's root test. Okay. So Cauchy's root test is one of the methods, one of the tests to check the nature of a given series. Okay, a series will be given. That series may be convergent or divergent. So how to check the nature of a series, whether it's convergent or divergent or oscillatory? For that, we have some tests. So one of the tests is root test that we have learned in the last class. Okay, oscillatory thing is not there in your syllabus. You have only two things, convergent and divergence, and that too you have only two methods. Okay, so in exam usually they won't give which method to use. When you see the series you will understand. Okay, by practice it comes. When you see the series you will get an idea. Even otherwise you can actually go for both the test. If one test is not applicable, if you feel, go for the other test. Okay, so it is just in one step itself you will get to know whether this method is applicable or not, that you will get. So now Cauchy's root test. In this test, what were we doing? We will have an infinite series, sigma n is equal to 1 to infinity un, where un is the nth term of the series. Okay, actually we have a series of positive terms. In general, a series can have both positive and negative terms. Okay, so if we have a series of positive terms, and if this limit of un power 1 by n as n tends to infinity is equal to L, then the series is convergent if L is less than 1. Okay, if L is less than 1, then the series is convergent. If L greater than 1, then the series is divergent.
Ma'am,
Screen is not visible.
screen is.
Okay, thanks, you said. Okay, once actually I logged out in between. During that time, I think. Yeah, second time I forgot. Okay, thanks. Now?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, yeah. Anyway, I was saying about the last class. So now Cauchy's root test, if sigma un is a series of positive terms where n varies from 1 to infinity, and if limit un power 1 by n as n tends to infinity is L, then the series is convergent if L is less than 1. It is divergent if L is greater than 1, and the test fails if L is equal to 1. Okay, this was about Cauchy's root test. And the series actually, in your syllabus, they give series of positive terms. Okay, but in general, it can have positive terms or negative terms. Like you can have 1 minus 1 by 2 plus 1 by 3 minus 1 by 4 you can have, or you can have all negative terms. Okay, these possibilities are there. Suppose by chance, if negative terms are also there in the given series, like usually it will be alternatively plus or minus sign or something like that. In that case, you take, when you are taking limit of this un power 1 by n, you take mod of this. Okay, whatever limit you get, if you get minus 2, the limit you should take it as 2. Okay, mod of that. But usually that is not there in your syllabus. By chance it comes, you know anyway. So it's easy, same procedure. You just take mod for what limit you are getting. Okay. So this was about Cauchy's root test. We discussed it in the last class. And just to recall, we have some 3 standard results. First one is limit n power 1 by n as n tends to infinity is equal to 1. Okay, this is the first result that we have. Second one is limit of 1 plus 1 by n whole power n as n tends to infinity is equal to e. Okay, this is the second result. And the third one is instead of 1 by n, if you have x by n, the result is e power x. Okay, these are the 3 results we will be using in some of the problems. Now going to ratio test. The second test is ratio test. We call it as D'Alembert's ratio test. Okay. So here again, if sigma un is a series of positive terms, It's an infinite series where n varies from 1 to infinity. Okay. So if it is a series of positive terms and if limit of un plus 1 by un as n tends to infinity is equal to L. Okay. Difference you are understanding, right? In root test, what we were doing? Here we were taking un power 1 by n. Right? Here we are taking ratio of un plus 1 and un. So limit of un plus 1 by un as n tends to infinity is equal to L. Then sigma un is convergent if L is less than 1. It is divergent if L is greater than 1. And the test fails if L is equal to 1. Okay. So this is the statement of ratio test. So now let us do the problems. So the difference is only this: in taking the limit of something, we have something else here. Now, starting with the problem, discuss the convergence of the series sigma n is equal to 1 to infinity n factorial by n power n whole square. Already they have given sigma un. It is in the summation form, right? So it must be un. So un is n factorial by n power n whole square. Okay, this is our nth term. Now, in this statement, you see, we need the limit of un plus 1 by un. Un is nth term, so un plus 1 is n plus 1th term. Okay. Now, n plus 1th term, you just have to replace n by n plus 1. So, un plus 1 is n plus 1 factorial. Here n factorial. So, un plus 1 will have n plus 1 factorial divided by n plus 1 power n plus 1 whole square. Okay. Everywhere, wherever n is there, you have to replace that n by n plus 1. Okay, in each and every place, don't forget. So we got un plus 1. Now we need this ratio un plus 1 by un. You can directly apply the limit also. Yes. Okay, so limit as n tends to infinity of un plus 1 by un is equal to limit n tends to infinity of, this is un plus 1, substitute here, divided by un. Okay, un plus 1 divided by un. Now this is, it is, see numerator I have written as it is, okay, as it is in the sense I will explain now. And the denominator I have taken to the numerator, so it becomes the reciprocal of that. Okay, now term by term, n plus 1 factorial, it can be written as n plus 1 into n factorial. Like if you have 10 factorial, it can be written as 10 into 9 factorial, right? Similarly, if it is 5 factorial, 5 into 4 factorial. Similarly, n plus 1 factorial I have written as n plus 1 into n factorial. Denominator, I mean denominator of this, n plus 1 power n plus 1 whole square. This will be, it is like x square whole power n. X square whole power n, you can write it as x power 2n. Similarly, n plus 1 power n plus 1 whole square can be written as n plus 1 power 2 into n plus 1. We can multiply these two powers when you have whole square. Okay, n 2 n plus 1 into 2, nothing but 2 into n plus 1. Now into this term has gone to numerator, so we have taken reciprocal. N power n whole square is n power 2n. Just now how we did this term, similarly n power 2n. And this n factorial I have written as it is. Okay. Why this we wrote as n plus 1 into n factorial? Because we can cancel this n factorial. Okay. Write it in the form where you can simplify, you can cancel. So n plus 1 factorial is n plus 1 into n factorial. Now these two n factorials got cancelled. Right? And then see here n plus 1 is there in numerator. Denominator we have n plus 1 power 2n. Okay, 2 into n plus 1 power 2n. Then n plus 1 power 2 into 1. So 2. N plus 1 whole power 2, n plus 1 whole square. Okay. So denominator actually you have n plus 1 power 2n and n plus 1 whole square. But numerator also you have n plus 1. That n plus 1 and whole square here what you have, that will get cancelled. So numerator n plus 1 got cancelled. Now in numerator n plus 1 is not there. Denominator whole square was there. Now it has become whole power 1. Okay, this n power 2n I have written as it is. N plus 1 power 2n I have written as it is. Okay. Now if you apply the limit, see, directly if you apply the limit, you will get infinity by infinity form. So there are two ways. One way is, in this n plus 1 power 2n what you have, take n outside. Okay, when you take n outside, obviously only just n does not come out. N power 2n comes outside. Okay, because we have whole power 2n. So when you take n common factor here, you will get n power 2n. That n power 2n gets cancelled with the numerator n power 2n. Okay. I will go to next step, but in next step I have done in some other way. I am feeling now that this is easy. That's why I am explaining. N power 2n will get cancelled. Now what happens? 1 by n, as n tends to infinity, 1 by infinity is 0. Okay. So 1 plus 0 is 1. But here again we have n plus 1. Because of this term, when you take n tends to infinity, you will get 1 by infinity. 1 by infinity is 0. Okay. But here in notes what I have done is just a little different thing. See, anyway for both the terms we have power 2n, correct? N power 2n, n plus 1 power 2n. So n power 2n you can bring it to the denominator. So I have written whole power 2n. The other term n plus 1 is as it is. Now n by n is 1 plus 1 by n whole power n whole square. 2n is there, we can write it as whole power n whole square. But this term 1 plus 1 by n whole power n, it's a standard limit. When as n tends to infinity, this term becomes e, correct? This standard limits, here it is. See the second one, 1 plus 1 by n whole power n. As n tends to infinity, it's equal to e. So that it is in that form now. So it becomes e whole square, e square. And n plus 1 is as it is. Earlier method, when I explained, it was 1 into n plus 1. Now it is e square into n plus 1. But whatever it is, as n tends to infinity, 1 by infinity, it becomes 0. Okay, limit is same. So you are getting 0, 0 is less than 1. So according to ratio test, the series is convergent. Okay, so the series is convergent according to ratio test. Is it fine now? Got it? Okay. Oh, you have said screen is not visible, but when I open the PDF, I can't see the messages. That's the thing. Okay, so hope there are no doubts in this problem. Now let's go to the next problem. Okay, here let's test the convergence of the series. They will ask in different ways. Okay, test the convergence of, or check whether the given series is convergent or divergent, or test the nature of the series, like these things. Okay, different words, nature, convergence. So all these are same. So now we have this series. It is not in summation form. We have to write now. Okay. So let us write it as sigma of something. Numerator, you see, we have 1 square. First term is 1 square. Second term is 2 square. Third term is 3 square. Nth term is, what is nth term?
N square.
N square. Okay. So numerator is n square. Denominator, first term is 2 power 1. Second term is 2 square. Third term is 2 cube. Nth term is
2 to the power n.
Yes. Okay. So 2 is fixed. It's not n power something and all. It's correct. So you have 2. 2 is fixed. 2 power 1. Only the power is varying. 2 power 1, 2 square, 2 cube. Nth term will be 2 power n. Okay, so we got nth term. According to ratio test, we are doing problems on ratio test, right? You can actually do this problem using root test also. But suppose they ask ratio test. Anyway, root test we know already, so we are going for ratio test. Now, un is n square by 2 power n. So un plus 1 is, wherever n is there, you write n plus 1. N plus 1 whole square by 2 power n plus 1. Now, consider this ratio. Directly you can take limit also, or first you can simplify and then you can take the limit. So when you take this ratio, un plus 1 I have written as it is, divided by un. So it is divided by this. So into reciprocal of this, which is 2 power n by n square. Now 2 power n will get cancelled. Here denominator is 2 power n into 2, right? That 2 power n will get cancelled. You have 2. 1 by 2. Then n plus 1 whole square by n square. If you directly apply the limit, you will get infinity by infinity form. So take n square as a common factor from numerator and denominator. Okay. So n square is a common, n is a common factor, but whole square is there. So n square comes out from numerator. Denominator also n square is there, it will get cancelled. Okay. Anyway, I have written whole square. So n, after taking n outside, this n will get cancelled. Now you are left with 1 plus 1 by n whole square. 1 by 2 is there. And then 1 plus 1 by n whole square. Now if you apply the limit, 1 by infinity is 0. 1 plus 0 is 1. 1 square is 1. So your limit is 1 by 2. Okay. This limit is 1 by 2, which is less than 1. Therefore, the series is convergent. Easy, right? Any doubts in this? Any doubts? Okay. Parth, when is that pic taken? You look completely different, I guess.
Ma'am, last birthday.
Okay. You look different. So for that part, we can say happy birthday now. Okay. Now coming
Thank
to
you.
next. Yeah. So now next one, test the convergence of the series. This is the series. Okay. So this is the series given. And yesterday, last class had got disconnected in between, right? Okay. Now I remembered. Okay, it's fine. I think last class, I don't remember whether that problem I explained or not. I'll go back to that later. So now here we have a property of a series which says that the nature of the series will not be altered. Okay, it remains unaltered even if we add or subtract some finite number of terms to the series. Okay, I mean, if you have an infinite series, the series can be convergent or divergent, or it can be oscillatory. Okay, I am not talking about what is the sum, whether the sum is infinity or 1 by 2. I am not talking about that. Only the nature, whether it is convergent or divergent or oscillatory. Okay, so in such a series, even if you add, because it's already an infinite series, now you will be adding some finite terms. Maybe you are adding 1 or 1 plus 1 by 2. You are adding something, okay, some finite terms. So when you add finite terms or if you subtract finite terms, the nature will not be altered. If it is before, if it is convergent, after adding some finite terms also, it will be convergent. Similarly, divergence also. Okay, if it's divergent before, later also it remains to be divergent. So what we can do now is, whenever we see any series, if we feel, okay, if this term is not there, it would have been nice. If we feel like that, we can just delete that term. We can leave that term, we can ignore it. Okay. So here what you have 2 by 3 into x, 2 into 3 by 3 into 5 into x square, etc. We have terms like this. But in first term, we don't have that 2 by 3 and all that is not there. Either we can take it as 2 by 3 whole power 0. Okay, we can either do that. Or we can better to leave. If we leave, it will be a proper series because it will be easy to write the nth term. That is one thing. And if we delete this first term 1, I mean, if we just ignore that, then every series is starting from 2 in the numerator, denominator it is starting from 3. You can see second term also 2, 3 is there. Okay. So let us just ignore this first term. Okay. If the series is infinite series, finite series you can't do that. Infinite series you can do this adding or subtracting any term. Okay. Now ignoring the first term, omitting the first term, we have the general term. Now just ignore this one. Okay. Just ignore that it's not there. Now just concentrate on the terms starting from this 2 by 3 into x. Just concentrate on that. Now, first term you have 2. It is starting from 2. Second term 2 is also there. Okay, it's not that 2 we have don't have. 2 is also there. We have starting from 2 up to 3. Third term 2 into 3 into 4 up to 4. Third term is up to 4. Okay, I repeat. First term is starting and ending with 2. Second term is up to 3, starting with 2 but up to 3. Third term is up to 4. Nth term is up to actually that also starts with 2. Okay, every term starts with 2. It will be like next term will be 2 into 3 into 4 into 5. And the next term will be 2 into 3 into 4 into 5 into 6. Okay, it goes like that. 2, 3, 4, etc. That will be there. Now what I'm saying is, first term you have 2. Second term is still 3. Third term is still 4. Nth term is still
n plus 1.
n plus 1. Okay, you will have 2. 2 into 3 into 4, etc. up to n plus 1. Now comes the denominator. Denominator is starting with 3. Okay. Next term we have, only thing is, carefully you see, you don't have 3 into 4, you have 3 into 5, odd numbers. 3 into 5. Then you have 3 into 5 into 7. Any idea what will be there in the nth term in denominator? 3 into 5 into 7, etc. up to, what is the nth term of odd numbers? Like they are in AP actually, arithmetic progression. If you take 3 is the first term, 3 is the first term, 5 second term, 7, 3, 5, 7, 9, 11, etc. What is the nth term? Common difference is 2.
n plus 2.
Huh? Yeah, someone said, I didn't hear properly.
A plus 2n.
A plus, I mean nth term formula you are saying?
Yes, ma'am.
I think a formula is a plus n minus 1 into d.
Ma'am, 2n minus 1.
2n, if it is starting from 1, if it was 1, 2 by 1, 2n minus 1 is correct. It is starting from 3, right? So it is 2n plus 1. Odd numbers usually, yeah, you can either go for arithmetic progression, or you can just see that odd numbers usually we write it as 2n minus 1 or 2n plus 1, right? Suppose you take 2n minus 1. If you take n is 1, it becomes 2 into 1. That means 2 minus 1, which is 1. But denominator is 3. Suppose you take 2n plus 1. 2 plus 1 is 3. Then 2 into 2 plus 1, which is 5. Okay. So, nth term is 2n plus 1. 3 into 5 into 7, etc. up to 2n plus 1. Then this x term, x power 1, x square, x cube, etc. Nth term is x power n. This is our un. Okay. Don't write only n plus 1 by 2n plus 1 into x power n. You should write the complete thing because every term, that 2, 3, 4, etc. will be there in every term. Fine. This is our un now. Next, in ratio test, we need un plus 1 also. So un plus 1 is, wherever n is there, we have to take n plus 1. So it becomes n plus 1 plus 1, so n plus 2. Starting with 2, 2, 3, 4, etc. up to n plus 2. Correct? n plus 1 plus 1, n plus 2. So obviously before n plus 2 you will have n plus 1. Similarly denominator you have 3, 5, 7 etc. And then actually the next odd number is 2n plus 3. Either you can write like that, or when you replace n by n plus 1, 2 into n plus 1 plus 1. Okay, so 2n plus 2 plus 1, which is 2n plus 3. Previous number is 2n plus 1. So this is and then x power n is there. Here it will be x power n plus 1. Now consider the ratio un plus 1 by un. You can see that terms from 2, 3, 4 etc. up to n plus 1 are there in both. So 2, 3, 4 etc. up to n plus 1 will get cancelled. Similarly in denominator 3, 5, 7 etc. up to 2n plus 1, that will get cancelled. So what are you left with? Only this term n plus 2 by 2n plus 3, and then x power n plus 1 by x power n. X power n plus 1 by x power n is x. Okay, so we are left with n plus 2 by 2n plus 3 into x. Fine. Now take the limit as n tends to infinity. So directly if you apply the limit, you are getting infinity by infinity form. So take n as a common factor from both numerator and denominator, that n will get cancelled. Now you are left with 1 plus 2 by n. 2 plus 3 by n. It's not 1 here. When you take n outside, you are left with 2. 2 plus 3 by n. So 2 by infinity is 0. 3 by infinity is 0. So you are left with 1 by 2 into x, which is x by 2. But x value we don't know, right? They have not given it in the problem. I think they must have given at most x is positive. Yeah, x is positive is given. But even if it's x is positive, it may be less than 0, right? I mean, it may be less than 1 or it may be greater than 1. So we will write, so the series is convergent if this number x by 2 is less than 1, nothing but x is less than 2. It is divergent if this number, this limit x by 2 is greater than 1, nothing but x greater than 2. Okay, and the test fails when x by 2 is equal to 1, nothing but x is equal to 2. Right? So this is about ratio test for the third problem. Any doubts in this? Rahul is asking 2n minus 1. Yeah, as I said, if it was 1, starting with 1, it would have been 2n minus 1. Since it is starting with 3, it is 2n plus 1. The formula for nth term of an arithmetic progression is a plus n minus 1 into d, right? A is 3, right? Let me go back to that PDF. A is 3 here. First term is 3. A plus 3 plus n minus 1 into d. D is the common difference 2. So 3 plus 2n minus, 3 plus 2n minus 2. So 3 plus 2n minus 2 is 2n plus 1. Okay, so n term is 2n plus 1. If you start with 1, then instead of a will become 1. In that case, it will be 2n minus 1. So n term of an arithmetic progression is a is first term plus n minus 1 into d. D is the common difference. So any doubts now, guys? No doubts? Okay, going to the next problem. Let's find the nature of this series. In this series, we have x square, we have x power 4, etc. Okay, even power x square, x power 4, x power 6, like that it continues. Denominator is 3 root 2, 4 root 3, etc. Okay. So first term, when you take nth term will be different. That's it. Or you can just ignore this term. Okay. If you ignore this term, first term, omitting the first term, the general term of the series, nothing but nth term of the series is, now just ignore the first term. Okay, starting with this x square by 3 root 2 plus x power 4 by 4 root 3 plus x power 6 by 5 root 4, etc. This is your series. Now, you have x square, x power 4, x power 6, etc. What will be nth term? X power 2 into 1, 2 into 2, x power 6 is 2 into 3, nth term is, what is the nth term?
X power 2n.
Yes, x power 2n. Okay, first term is x power 2 into 1. Second term is x power 2 into 2. You have even numbers, right? Whenever you have even numbers, nth term of an even number is 2n, right? 2 into 1, 2 into 2, 2 into 3, like that it continues 2 into n. So nth term, numerator you will have x power 2n. Okay. Now the denominator, when you have 2 here, not like that. Okay. So in the first term, you have 3. Okay, this is the first term. X square by 3 root 2 is the first term. In the first term, you have 3. Second term, you have 4. Okay, second term is 4. Third term, you will have 5. Nth term, you will have, first term is 3. Second term is 4. Third term is 5. Nth term is
N plus
N plus 2.
n plus 2, correct. Okay. Or if you find me telling like this is little confusing, you can again go for AP. It's a arithmetic progression starting with 3, 3, 4, 5, etc. Common difference is 1, correct? 3, 4, 5. Common difference is 1. First term is 3. You can use that. So n term will be, as you said, n plus 2. Okay. Now, see, when it is 3 here, you have 2. When you have 4, square root of 3. When you have n plus 2, square root of
N plus 1.
n plus 1. Okay. Simple. Right? So in the first term, I repeat, first term is 3. Second term is 4. Third term is 5. So n term is n plus 2. Okay. The two numbers more than that. Then square root of 2. When you have 3 here, it is root of 2. When you have 4, it is square root of 3. When you have n plus 2, it is square root of n plus 1. Now, after getting un, for finding un plus 1, you just have to replace n by n plus 1. Okay. So, wherever n is there, you take n plus 1, it becomes 2n plus 2, x power 2n plus 2. And n plus 1 plus 2, it becomes n plus 3. Root of n plus 1 plus 1, which is n plus 2. Now take the ratio n plus 1 by un plus 1 by un. Un plus 1, this I have written as it is, into un, reciprocal of this term. Okay, I have just substituted these two. Now x power 2n will get cancelled. So you are left with x square, right? X power 2n into x square. X power 2n got cancelled, you have x square. And you have n plus 2 by n plus 3. Root of n plus 1 by n plus 2, x square. Now directly, if you apply the limit, it will be infinity by infinity form. So take n as a common factor outside. Okay, n and n will get cancelled. Square root of, here also you take n as a common factor, n will get cancelled. So you have 1 plus 2 by n, 1 plus 3 by n, 1 plus 1 by n, 1 plus 2 by n. Okay, the 2 by n, 3 by n, everything as n tends to infinity, it becomes 0. So it becomes 1 plus 0, 1 plus 0, everything is 1, 1, 1, 1. All these terms are 1 actually. Okay, and you are left with x square, right? You do that step taking common factor. 2 by n is 2 by infinity, it becomes 0. So 1 plus 0 is 1. Similarly, every term becomes 1 plus 0, which is totally 1. 1 into x square is x square. But x value we don't know. So it depends on the value of x now. So the series is convergent if x square is less than 1. Divergent if x square is greater than 1. And the test fails if x square is equal to 1. Got it now? Got it? Okay. So we are done with ratio test, but root test last class it got disconnected. Now that problem I'll explain. Okay, it's anyway you know the root test if that problem is different. So that let me see what was that problem. I think it was third problem. So first problem was done, second was done, third I didn't do, I had directly gone for 4. I think I was explaining this. So test the convergence of this problem, this one. Un is n plus 1 whole power n into x power n by n power n plus 1. Okay. Now un power 1 by n, we have in the root test we have to take un power 1 by n. So when you take whole power 1 by n, this numerator whole power n and whole power 1 by n will get cancelled. So you will be left with n plus 1 into x. Denominator, it is n plus n into, I mean n power n into n power 1. Correct? N power n and then n power 1. Fine? Whole power 1 by n. We are raising the power 1 by n. So denominator is n power n. I have written here. Then n power 1 is n whole power 1 by n. Now numerator as it is. Denominator what happens? This n power n whole power 1 by n. This n and 1 by n will get cancelled. You will be left with n. I have written in the beginning n. Then the first term is n power 1 by n. That I have written as it is, n power 1 by n. Now, in this n plus 1, you take n as a common factor. Okay. Otherwise, it leads to indeterminate form. So, take n as a common factor, 1 plus 1 by n. Denominator n is there, numerator n you have taken common factor, that n got cancelled. Okay. So, now as n tends to infinity, okay, we are taking limit as n tends to infinity, then numerator 1 by infinity is 0, so 1 plus 0 is 1. That x will be as it is. Denominator n power 1 by n as n tends to infinity. It is a standard limit. Okay, see this, the first result, limit of n power 1 by n as n tends to infinity is 1. Okay, so this term, denominator, it becomes 1. So we have x. So what's the nature now? It is convergent if x is less than 1. Divergent if x is greater than 1, because we don't know value of x. It depends on the value of x now. And the test fails if x is equal to 1. Okay. This is about Cauchy's root test. And the previous one, third one. Okay. Here also, actually we ignore the first term. Okay. See, this is the series. We ignore the first term here. Ignoring the first term or after leaving the first term you have 2. Like this is the first term now. 2 by 3 into x is your first term. Okay, first term you have 2. Second term you have 3. Third term is 4. Nth term is numerator.
N plus 1.
N plus 1. Okay. Denominator, like it's easy to see now. When you have numerator 2, denominator is 3. When you have 3 in the numerator, denominator is 4. Or you can see like that also. Like first term is 3, second term is 4, third term is 5, nth term is
N plus
Plus
n plus 2. Okay, when numerator is n plus 1, denominator is n plus 2. Then first term we have whole power 1 and x power 1. Second term is whole square x square. Third term is whole cube. This 4 by 5 whole cube x cube. N term is this term whole power n and then x power n. Okay, this is our un. For un you take this limit as n tends to infinity of un power 1 by n. So this already power n is there, right? You can see here power n is there for both the terms. When you take 1 by n, that power n and 1 by n will get cancelled. Now you are left with n plus 1 by n plus 2 into x. But when you apply the limit, you will get infinity by infinity form. So take n as a common factor from both numerator and denominator, that n will get cancelled. What common factor you are taking, that will get cancelled. So you are left with 1 plus 1 by n, 1 plus 2 by n into x. So as n tends to infinity, 1 by infinity is 0, 2 by infinity is 0. So 1 into x is x. So by Cauchy's root test, the series is convergent or the series converges for x less than 1, diverges for x greater than 1, and the test fails for x is equal to 1. Okay, this is about Cauchy's ratio test and root test. Infinite series, you have only these two methods. And as I said, if you have by chance, it is not there in your syllabus, by chance, you feel that instead of n cube, if you have minus n whole cube, where you are alternatingly, no, all the terms you may get minus, or alternatively you may get plus and minus sign. Suppose you have any series like that, then you take mod for what you are taking, mod of un power 1 by n. Okay, that's what you have to do. So this is about Cauchy's root test and ratio test. So any doubts in these things now? Any of these methods? Root test and ratio test, any doubts? Okay. So if you don't have any doubts, you can give the attendance. Or if you want to ask me anything, you can ask. Okay, so that's it for the day. You can give attendance. Okay, so done. All of you have given? If you have given, then okay. Okay, giving still.